Back on CNY Stream. It is a chilly Saturday morning here in Jordan, New York. We're here for General Brown against JE. Brennan, a beautiful new facility just got put in place here at JE. New turf, new lights, which we didn't get to see last night, but a really good renovation that they got going here.
I mean, this is a great stadium. This is better than most high school stadiums, even in some better areas. Like, this is just beautiful. You got the logos splattered all over the field. It's a very beautiful picture to look outside of this press box.
Brennan, how hard is it to be preparing all week for a Friday night game, and all of a sudden it's rained out, lightninged out, whatever you want to put it, and all of a sudden you have to wake up early on a Saturday morning?
Well, it just depends on what your situation is. If you're a team coming in with momentum, that can really kill it. But if you're a team who's looking to get back on track, this could jar the other team just enough to make it a difference maker, and you could get revved up. You can get fired up. It gives you more time to prepare, more time to adequately rest up maybe if you weren't ready for that Friday night ball game.
Well, it may be early, but large contingents on both sides from a parent's perspective here in Jordan.
And, I mean, you do see a lot of General Brown parents. They're not close. They're up in Dexter, New York, which is near Fort Drum, but we're almost an hour from here.
Brennan, it's a culture. This is a powerhouse. I mean, this is a team that year by year by year, they contend for state titles. And you don't get to that level if football isn't ingrained in the culture of your town.
Well, the culture is really big, and in order to have a successful football program, there's got to be a motivation amongst the youth to be able to get involved. And if you have a great atmosphere within the town, you get every kid growing up wanting to be an Eagle, wanting to be a Lion. And that's what we see out of both of these teams here, even though the rosters aren't that big.
Both teams have taken the field. General Brown will be kicking to JE to start, and the one and only Jeremiah Sparks is back deep to return for JE. Bryce Johnson, the kicker for General Brown. He'll be kicking it right to left. General Brown in white, blue bottoms. The kick is up. It's a bouncer to Sparks and nearly going to go out of bounds, but Sparks picks it up at the 10. Running laterally, met at the 15 where he's dragged down. Sparks tried to let that go out of bounds, and it didn't go.
Well, it looked like it was going to for a while, but it just didn't get that last bounce it needed. Sparks able to get a good bit of yardage out of it, but obviously not what he hoped for out of that first return.
Yeah, the ball would have been placed at the 35 if the ball had went out of bounds. So a shaky kick there by Bryce Johnson, but it did the trick because JE is backed up to its own 17-yard line. And now we'll take a look. We'll get our first look at quarterback Jeff Lippa. Lippa takes the snap. Looking left, it's a screen pass to Melfi. Melfi breaks a tackle on the far side, gets as far as the 22 where he's dragged down, and we have a flag on the field. So we're going to see more runs than passes today, but they started off with the pass.
They started off with the pass there. It was a good screen play. Obviously didn't get a lot of yardage, but they had two receivers out there in protection with the trip set to the left side.
Referees convening at the far side 20-yard line. Referee crew today: Mike LaRoche, the head referee, umpire Anj Emmy, linesman Ken Kashara, lines judge Justin Brannick, and back judge Lee Martin. The flag is picked up. So it's about a 7-yard gain by Melfi. Melfi, the 5'10", 185-pound senior, coming off a 2-touchdown game. And we'll see Melfi used as both a running back and a pass catcher. Lippa from the shotgun again, takes the chest high snap. It's a handoff, and he's got running room. It's Luke Pickney. Pickney on the near side, lowers his shoulder at the 40-yard line, a 20-yard gainer for Luke Pickney.
Pickney saw that opening there in the offensive line. He took it. He bounced to the outside, went off the tackle, and went to the sideline. A good pickup there for Pickney.
Pickney reversed field, so now the ball lined up on the right hash. Pickney on Jeff Lippa's left hip. Jeremiah Sparks in motion. It's a handoff to Sparks. Jet sweep. Sparks is going to cut it to the middle, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to mark that a loss of about a yard or two, and Sparks just couldn't find an opening there on the offensive line. That General Brown D-line broke right through and left no holes for Sparks to work with.
Well, when you see Sparks in motion, you know that he's going to draw a lot of attention. Jeremiah Sparks, 6'2", 185 pounds, had 4 touchdowns in JE's last game. Now Sparks, the running back. Oh, no, he's the quarterback. Jeremiah Sparks is going to take a direct snap here. Lippa in motion. Sparks takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Melfi, takes it himself on the left side. Sparks has running room down the left side. Across the first down marker, he dives ahead at the far sideline, and he's going to get the first.
That was a good 11, 12-yard pickup there by Jeremiah Sparks. A good fake out there with the quarterback, Jeff Lippa, going on a motion in front of him, and he got a good – he pulled out a few good moves there to try to get past those defenders, and it ended up being good for a first down. They're close to General Brown territory, but they're not quite there yet.
Yeah, ball lined up at the 49. Corey Smith made the tackle for General Brown, had some help from some teammates. So J.E. Early mostly working out of the shotgun set. Melfi in motion now. Lippa takes the snap. It's a screen to Melfi. Excuse me, that's Pinckney. Pinckney has 9 yards where he's met at the 40. And the tackle is made by Dominic Lutz.
And that was a good screen pass. You saw the lineman come off to block there for Pinckney, and he got a good pickup there. It's about 8 yards, so it'll be a 2nd and 2, but, I mean, that's a good pickup. That's the yards you need to get to take down this Lions team.
Good start by J.E., Brandon. J.E. breaks their huddle at the 50. Ball on the right hash, 42-yard line. Lippa in the shotgun. Pinckney on his right hip. Sparks in motion once again. Sparks is going to go behind the quarterback, Lippa, but it's a hand to Pinckney. He's got nothing doing, and he's tackled behind the line. Corey Smith once again, along with Trey Coney in the backfield.
Coney and Smith teamed up on that tackle. There was absolutely nowhere for him to go. Absolutely swarmed behind the line of scrimmage, and now it's a loss of 3.
So you can see how much attention they are paying to Jeremiah Sparks. He's broken off 1 big run, but on 2 he's been met in the backfield.
I mean, generally so far, this Jordan-Elbridge team has had some good success coming off against this Lions defense. However, they're facing a 3rd and 5 here.
Yeah, big 3rd down. Lippa in an empty set takes the snap. Lippa to pass. Passing to the right side. He has his man Sparks for a first down. He was dragged down by Bryce Johnson, but not before he picked up the first.
I mean, this offense is just moving. They have momentum right now, and against a talented team like General Brown, that is something important. Momentum is the key to taking down a team that may be a tougher opponent than you are, and they're certainly having the momentum right now.
Head coach Joe Fiocchi called his team untested, and this is certainly the test that they were looking for. Lippa takes the snap. At the 40, drops back, another pass, batted down at the line. He was looking for Dakota Holbrook there.
Drew Kronk there on the slap down. Actually, that was Matt Duldo on the slap down. Great defense there. Just stuck his hand up at the line of scrimmage and swatted that ball straight down into the turf.
Brennan, as a lineman, if you can't get to the quarterback, you got to get your hands up, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's the first instruction. You see him motioning to throw, put the hands up. If you can just tip the ball, that can be huge. Even if it's back to a lineman, that's going to be a loss.
2nd and 10, 8:03 left in this first quarter. Lippa's in the shotgun with Pinckney at his right hip. Lippa takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Pinckney, takes it himself up the middle, hit hard. It was Carson Pickerel. Had help from Damian Zawatsky.
He was just brought down real hard there. That was a big-time tackle there, and now it's going to be a 3rd and long here for the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles.
Forward progress for Lippa got him to the 36. But a big 3rd down and long here. Dakota Holbrook, the big 6'6" wide receiver lined up on the near side. Sparks in motion. Lippa takes the snap, looks right, has his man Pinckney, but he's tackled at the line of scrimmage, and General Brown forces a 4th down.
Simple reason for the Eagles there. There was just no blocking in front of him. The linemen who went out to block just weren't there and couldn't find a defender, and he was swarmed by about 2 or 3 behind the line of scrimmage.
So J.E. will punt. A long first drive. Doesn't have anything to show for it, but they did. They were backed up on the 15, and they'll get some field position. So here is Melfi to punt, gets it off, and it's leftward, rolling out of bounds at about the 22.
No scoring out of that drive, but at the very least, if you're Jordan-Elbridge, you're glad you're going to start General Brown pretty far back into their own territory here.
Brennan, the clock reads 6:43. That was a long drive.
And the longer you can run the clock here against a talented team, the better. The less time you give them to have possession of the ball, the more you improve your chances of getting a touchdown.
So we'll get our first look at this General Brown offense. Jake Heller, the quarterback, his first year as the starter, he is a senior. In the single back, he hands it off, and that's Raleigh running on the right side, gains about 2.
That was a weird bunch set there from the the General Brown Lions offense. They were all bunched up together right along the offensive line, and they were just trying to pound the ball ahead for a short gain.
General Brown going quickly. It's a jumbo set. Here's Heller. Heller passing right, has a man, first down. Raleigh chopped down at the 34. So a quick pass by Jake Heller. It'll move the chains.
Griffin Vincent on the reception there, and this is really fast moving here for the Lions offense.
Heller has it now, and he runs right, takes it himself, has some space, spins around across the 50 into JE territory. Thomas Trent did some damage control there for General Brown, but a huge run for Heller.
Heller was just running right through that defense. He had some resistance there in the second level, but he was just spinning around all the defenders, and now they're in Eagles territory.
The pace is very different. General Brown moving quickly. Heller takes a snap under center, handoff to Lutz. Lutz runs right, breaks a few tackles. He's still going. Breaks another across the first down marker, and he's finally tackled at the 34.
It's looking really tough to start this General Brown offense right now. They're moving the ball quick, and they're moving it far. It's been only about 4 or 5 plays, and yet they're already on the 35 of Jordan-Elbridge.
They do huddle, but when they break that huddle, they go really fast. Raleigh in the backfield. Heller, though, hands back to Lutz. Lutz runs left, and this time a really good tackle made by Nate Melfi.
That is a short pickup there for the Lions, but great defense there by Melfi. If Melfi didn't make that tackle, that was going to be a pretty solid pickup, but he played damage control there and limited it to a 1-yard gain.
The 5'10 senior safety covering a lot of ground there to make that tackle close to the line of scrimmage. Heller takes the snap, handoff up the middle, and he's got space. Jake Heller, 5, touchdown. He ran it right up the gut for a 30-yard plus touchdown.
That Lions offensive line made a gaping hole in the Eagles defense. He was absolutely untouched past the second level, and there was no opposition to Heller getting that touchdown.
A good offensive drive by JE, but an even better one by General Brown. And as usual, General Brown will go for 2. Jumbo set, Heller under center. It's a handoff. Up the middle. Does he have enough? Yes. 2-point conversion is good. Heller actually kept that. So you see a lot of trickery, a lot of fake handoffs, and 2 plays in a row there. Heller keeps it himself.
The term for quarterback that a lot of people like to use is field general, but that really is what Jacob Heller is to this Lions offense. He's running everything. He's got the arm to make the passes, and right now he's working the ground game as well.
So 8-0, General Brown takes the lead. 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Brennan, how often do you see the quarterback under center with 2 men in the backfield, but neither directly behind the quarterback? I've been calling it a jumbo set. It's a formation you do not see every day.
It really is a unique set, and maybe that's why a lot of opponents are having a tough time with General Brown. They're really not getting much opposition. They're running up the score against a lot of teams. It's very unique, and I'm sure that's why a lot of teams are caught off guard.
So we mentioned how long JE's drive took. That drive was 78 yards, 1:46. So General Brown wasted no time. This time the kickoff once again on the left side, fielded by Sparks on a one-hopper. Sparks makes a few men miss. He's down the left sideline, and he's got some space, but he can't keep his toes in bounds. So we saw the electricity there by Sparks on that run.
I mean, he certainly got a big pickup there. He fielded that at about the 15-yard line and put off a few shifty move, a couple of jukes to the left side, and it's a good 20-yard pickup. And at the 35-yard line, J.E. has good starting field position.
J.E. has to feel good about their last offensive drive, although they had nothing to show for it. So let's see how they follow it up. They break their huddle at the 25. Sparks will take the direct snap again. Luke Pinckney on his right hip. Trent Thomas in motion. Handoff is to Pinckney. Pinckney met in the backfield by a swarm of General Brown defenders. That's a loss of about 4 yards.
This offensive line for Jordan-Elbridge has really collapsed in the last couple of minutes of offense. They're really not putting up any protection against this defensive line, which is really overpowering them.
Yeah, it's interesting, Brendan, because they do have great size on this offensive line. 183, 243, 265, 211. And then, of course, Mike Town is 365. Sparks on the left hash, once again, going to take the direct snap. Trent in motion again. Now, this time Sparks takes it himself up the middle, works ahead for about 6.
They're going to mark that at about a 3rd and 9, and Jeremiah Sparks is really being left to fend for himself at this point. He really had no blockers on that play. He really has to do a lot of the work, and the fact that he picked up that many yards is impressive in and of itself.
Yeah, 2 direct snaps in a row. Now 3rd and 8. We'll see Jeff Lippa likely to pass. Sparks lined up on the far side, Holbrook on the near side. 3 wide receivers set. Lippa takes the snap, looks left. He's got pressure, and he's sacked in the backfield. 3 General Brown defenders take down Jeff Lippa.
Nicholas Tufo led in on that sack, absolutely swarmed him behind the line of scrimmage. He had no chance to get a pass off. There was just no opposition from the Jordan-Elbridge offensive line.
So Nate Melfi will have his second punt of the game. Melfi takes it. Punt is away, nearly blocked, but it's a good punt. Out of bounds at what looked like the 40.
And more importantly, that's the Jordan-Elbridge 40. Great field position for the Lions to start out their second offensive drive.
Yeah, Melfi punting that from about his own 12. So the General Brown offense takes the field. They're 1 for 1. Put up 8 on their last drive. 2:49 remaining in this first quarter.
Another good note on that punt. Trey Coney almost managed to block that one for General Brown, but they still have good field position either way, starting from Jordan-Elbridge's 41.
So it's that jumbo set again. Heller this time play action. Looking left, he's got pressure, and the catch is made by McMahon on the near sideline. There is a flag on the field.
It's going to be a call on a roughing of the passer there. They might decline that after all. It was a pretty long reception there for the part of the Lions. And a big catch there by Matt McManaman.
What a catch. When Heller, first threw that pass, I thought he was throwing it away. But McManaman on the near sideline is able to make the catch, use his wingspan, and also keep his feet in bounds.
Great touch there on the pass by Jacob Heller. Jeremiah Sparks was flying in, was just above the tip of his fingers down the sideline and right into the hands of McManaman.
Well, it looks like they accept the penalty, or was the penalty added on to the spot of the catch?
Because that looks like what it's going to be.
The ball spotted on the 19. General Brown breaks their huddle. Heller goes under center. It's Trey Coney in the backfield. Handoff is to Coney up the middle, but he's wrapped up. Able to fight for a few extra yards.
Heller managed to keep that one for himself. Gave himself a gain of about 5 yards. But, I mean, hey, they're in the 10-yard line, and that's big for the Lions offense.
Mike Town substituted out for J.E., and this time we'll see Heller out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off, tackled in the backfield. What a play by Anthony Barron, the 5'6", 182-pound junior.
Gotta love Anthony Barron, listed on this as a running back O-line linebacker. He's not a very big guy, but he's a big impact player there. You saw him bring the running back down behind the line of scrimmage. Big time play there.
The shortest player on the team plays on the D-line. Go figure. Heller shotgun once again. Takes the snap. He looks to run himself. No, it's a pitch. Pitch outside to Lutz. Lutz gets the edge across the first down marker where he's shoved out of bounds, but he gets as far as the 4-yard line.
Big missed opportunity there early on in the play for Keith Titus. He had a chance to bring Lutz down for a gain of maybe 1 or 2 yards, but he couldn't get a wrap on him, and Lutz was able to kick the outside, and it'll actually be a 4th and short, about inches here.
That's right. So a big 4th down conversion attempt. It's a handoff. Did you catch where the ball went? The ball was on the ground.
It was a running play, but it was just short. It's going to go into the possession of Jordan-Elbridge. They're going to start inside their own 10.
Yeah, that ball was fumbled. So J.E. takes over. Did you catch that? Was it the handoff that was fumbled?
Maybe it was the handoff. I thought Heller got the snap pretty clean. I really don't know where the fumble came, but that's very interesting. A mistake you don't see very often from an offense like General Brown.
Obviously, a lot of players piled up on the line of scrimmage in the 4th and short situation. So obviously, that's not what General Brown wanted, but at the same time, J.E.'s going to have to work from its own 5.
And the problem is that's definitely not what you want as Jordan-Elbridge. You get the ball back, and you keep General Brown from scoring. That is key early on in this ball game. 1:21 left to go in the first quarter. You're only trailing 8-0. The problem, though, is you have a long way to go. You have 95 yards to reach the end zone, and press back at your own 5 when this offensive line hasn't been giving much protection to Jeff Lippa or the rest of the offense. This is a dangerous situation where you could possibly see a safety if it's not protected right.
What have you seen from this J.E. offense so far?
I mean, they can move it when they're really working, but since that first drive, they haven't really been functional. The offensive line has not been giving a lot of protection for the run game or the passing game, and frankly, if they don't give any here, it could be an easy 2 points for the General Brown defense.
Jeremiah Sparks held in check so far for the most part.
To his credit, though, he's managed to create some offensive opportunities that wouldn't be there if it weren't for his athleticism.
Sparks takes the snap, Melfi in motion, but it's a handoff to the left side. It's Marion Quigley. Do we have a loose ball here? Yes, we do. Quigley fumbles it, and General Brown takes over inside the 5-yard line.
Fumbles on back-to-back plays. That's just not something you see every day. And now General Brown has a very easy drive, only 5 yards to the end zone.
Well, Marion Quigley for J.E. on his first carry of the game, that is not how he imagined it.
Certainly not an optimal situation now for the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles defense. And if you're right here, you just have to keep them out of the end zone. It's going to be really tough. It's a high-powered offense that can really move the football. But if you can do it, you can really gain the momentum back.
Watch out for Jake Heller keeping it himself. He leads the team in rushing touchdowns. Heller will keep it, but it's a pass, jump throw, corner of the end zone, out of bounds. Good pass rush by J.E.
And going in there with the heavy pressure, that was Anthony Barron. And he's been all over the field today. He's not a big guy, but again, making his presence known in the backfield, and he forced that throw out of bounds from the quarterback.
2nd and goal, 8-0. General Brown leads, threatening 6 more. Heller under center, 2 in the backfield. He'll try to keep it himself, but he's wrapped up. Guess who? Anthony Barron pulls down Jake Heller from the back.
Who would think the shortest guy on this entire team would be single-handedly keeping General Brown out of the end zone on this drive here? 51.7 seconds to go in this first quarter. And right now, General Brown calls a timeout to try to gather their bearings here. But really, we've seen a lot from Anthony Barron and the rest of this Jordan-Elbridge defense on this drive, too. they've really done a good job of keeping the coverage there and also just getting past this offensive line for General Brown.
Brennan, what are your thoughts on General Brown going so quickly? Are they trying to take advantage of the small roster size by JE? Most of JE's players have to play both sides of the football, so if you play fast, maybe you tire them out.
I mean, that's definitely a strategy that's been used before. It's certainly not unique, but it seems like this is a kind of offense that probably does this on a consistent basis. They're clearly used to it. They're having no problems with guys seeming winded. They're not having a lot of replacements. This seems to be their general offensive set, but against a team with only 22 players, it's certainly having a much bigger impact.
And they mix up the carries as well. Coney gets it, Lutz gets it, Raleigh gets it, and Heller can keep it. So out of the timeout, Heller under center. Hands it off where it is Raleigh or Lutz diving ahead. Doesn't get far enough. Excuse me. It was Coney.
It was a good pickup there, just short of the end zone. You think they're probably going to go for it this close.
Here comes a huge play. 4th and 1 on the 1-yard line. Game clock is now at 25 seconds, but it looks like General Brown will get it off. Huge 4th down. Heller under center. And he hands it off to Coney. No, he keeps it. It's a play-action pass. Complete touchdown to Dominic Lutz.
You line up in the I formation, 2 running backs behind you. You fake the handoff to both of them, and you just peel out to the right and hit Lutz open in the end zone with no men covering him.
Well, everyone fell for the play action, anticipating the run on 4th and 1. But Heller throws his 7th touchdown pass of the season. So now they'll go for 2. Jumbo set again. Heller looking to pass. Can't find McManaman, but he does try to get to it. And it's dropped. Dropped in the back of the end zone by McManaman.
He definitely had the opportunity there. Probably saw Jeremiah Sparks coming in from the left side and probably jarred him a little bit. But still, a 14-point lead here near the end of the first quarter.
He stared him down for that entire route. And he looked him off, but then he went right back to him. So 13 seconds now before the teams will reverse field. Teams huddled up. We've talked about General Brown's dominance. Head coach Doug Black on the General Brown sideline took over in 2015, so it's his 3rd season. He played quarterback under the legendary General Brown coach Steve Fisher, graduated in the class of 91, and went on to play more football. He played for the semi-pro team, the Watertown Red and Black, and actually was in the is now in the American Football Association Hall of Fame.
I mean, certainly a great coach at the helm there for Doug Black, who is a corrections officer professionally, and now he's really run a great program over there up in Dexter, New York.
Bryce Johnson puts his foot into it. The kick is short, fielded, and it is Alex Pond who will take a knee at about the 30-yard line.
I mean, just an easy kick there for General Brown. They don't really have too much to worry about with this Jordan-Elbridge offense so far. Since that first drive, they really haven't picked up a lot of yardage, and if they just keep their defensive dominance going throughout the rest of this game, it'll be really tough for the Eagles to put up a threat.
Jeff Lippa takes instruction from head coach Joe Fiacchi. And Lippa will line up in the shotgun, 4 receivers, 2 on either side. Lippa takes the snap, hands it off to Melfi. Melfi is met at the line of scrimmage. It was Carson Pickerel who took Melfi down. And that will do it for the first quarter. You're listening to Class C Football on CNY Stream. Back on CNY Stream, where General Brown leads JE 14-0. JE has the ball moving right to left now. This drive starts at the 20. Sparks takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, runs left, wrapped up and tackled. Ball's on the ground, a scramble for it. Who comes up with it? It's ball's at the bottom of a pile, waiting for the referee's signal. A moment of suspense here. JE cannot afford this. And the ball will stay with Jordan-Elbridge.
Just the ball handling these last few plays has been sloppy. The last 6 plays, 3 fumbles between the two teams. It's just really interesting. But these defenses are getting to one another, but particularly this General Brown defense. Sparks, again, the offensive line did not give him a lot of protection. He didn't really have much places to go.
JE locking down on Jeremiah Sparks. Sparks going to take another direct snap here. Melfi at his right hip. Sparks back to pass. The lefty scrambling within the pocket. Now he'll cross the line of scrimmage, running forward, hit hard at the 30-yard line. Matt McManaman comes in there and tackles Sparks.
That might be one of the most effort-heavy 2-yard pickups I've seen at the high school football level. Sparks had to do so much there. He found a hole to work with, but he was immediately sworded up by McManaman, and it took 5 defenders on General Brown to bring him down.
And that was 3rd down, so it's Nate Melfi out to punt. There's the snap. It's in Melfi's hands, and he gets it away. The punt is a booming one as Dominic Lutz has to retreat. Picks it up at the 25. Running left, crosses the 30. Now he crosses the 40. Dominic Lutz, the 50. Down the near sideline. Nate Melfi, finally takes him down. About a 50-yard return by Dominic Lutz. And Nate Melfi, the punter, he hit a great punt, and then he had to make the tackle.
I mean, obviously a lot of effort on that play from Melfi. We'll see what the flag is. There was a pretty big hit around the 35 delivered by Carson Pickerel on Jordan-Elbridge's very own Griffin LaFleur. And looks like that one's going to come way back. They're probably going to rule that a hit on a defenseless player.
Yeah, General Brown making the dreaded walk backwards after a big kick return.
I will say about that hit, they're still conversing about what exactly it is. I will say it did not look like a block in the back. It looked like a clean hit. It might have been a high hit, though. He may have gotten shoulder-to-helmet contact.
It is a block on a defenseless defender.
Obviously not what you want for General Brown. You had a big return there. Instead of starting inside the opponent's 30, you're now starting back inside your own 25.
General Brown's offense, though, has had no problem systematically running through this JE defense.
They've had 3 offensive drives so far. Touchdown, fumble, quick recovery, touchdown.
Heller has Coney and Lutz, but he'll drop back to pass. Throws on the right side, Carson Pickerel. Pickerel cuts to the middle, but tackled by a gang of defenders at the 26.
It's good you limit a play like that if you're the Jordan-Elbridge defense, but still, just those 4-yard pickups, 5-yard pickups, that's all you need to really move an offense really rapidly throughout the course of a ball game, and they're getting even more than that on every play.
Heller hands to Lutz. Lutz makes a man miss, makes another miss. He's running down the left side, gets the edge, and has the first down. Pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. An impressive run by Dominic Lutz.
Gain of about 15 there. He's finally brought down by Nate Melfi, and that's a big pickup for the General Brown offense. Again, very little opposition from this Jordan-Elbridge defense. No matter how hard they try, these offensive players for General Brown seem to be too much for him.
JE still looking for answers on stopping the run. Heller takes the snap, hands it off, but this time they do, as 2 JE defenders wrap up Dominic Lutz. It was Jeff Lippa
Jeff Lippa let in on that tackle, really brought him down behind the line of scrimmage. That's big. There haven't been a lot of losses here for the General Brown offense, and now they're starting from 2nd and 12, and that's good if you're the Jordan-Elbridge offense, rather the defense.
Two wide receivers lined up on the near side, but it's a handoff to Coney. Coney lowers his shoulder on the left side, but he's driven back, and a flag on the field.
Looks like there was some chippiness there between Nate Melfi and a couple of players on the offense. Looks like Carson Pickerel was in on that drama as well.
Well, it looked like a really nice tackle at the line of scrimmage, but we'll see what the referee has to say.
Doesn't look like it has anything to do with the tackle. It looks like some extracurriculars activities out near the 50.
Head referee Mike LaRoche signals towards the offense, but now the other referee signaling towards the defense.
Now, this might be a situation where you have offsetting penalties. I'm not sure here. And it looks like there is no situation where it looks like the penalties.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on JE, personal foul. I think it was how Dominic Lutz was tackled there. He was really driven down to the field, and maybe that's where the call was.
Not really sure what the deal is, but now the General Brown offense is inside Eagles territory. They're at the 48.
Heller under center, 2 in the backfield. It's a handoff to Eli Raleigh, who races ahead past the first down marker. Good 12-yard pickup for Raleigh.
It's these kind of pickups that keep the Browns machine moving. They keep going and going and going and going. There really isn't a lot of stopping them. And when they get knocked back, they just keep charging forward. It's the real mentality that the Lions offense has that's really overpowering this Eagles defense.
So right now they have it as a first down, but it looks like they're going to take a closer look at the chains. Measurement sticks out. And it looks like we're going to get a 2nd and inches. Third and inches, excuse me. Wow. So still no signal, and now they're still playing with those measuring sticks out there, Brandon.
Certainly taking a lot of time to figure it out, but let's just talk about how this General Brown offense is really just overpowering Jordan-Elbridge. And Jacob Heller is really running a stellar machine out there on the field, and a lot of running backs like Lutz, Rowley, and Coney all getting involved.
It is indeed 2nd and inches. So General Brown will call their play accordingly. Huddled up at the 45. Now they break their huddle. 20 seconds on the play clock, that is. Heller takes the snap and hands it off to Raleigh, who fights ahead across the first down. Forward progress will get the job done. 8:20 to go in the second. General Brown leads 14-0. And they're driving again.
And General Brown, again, it's just really tough for this Eagles defense to put a cap on that offense. They're already down 14 points early in this second quarter, and this could really get out of hand quickly if the momentum doesn't shift.
So here's Heller under center, drops back to pass, looks left, throws left. The ball is intercepted by Sparks. Sparks going the other way with it. Cuts it to the middle across the 20. Jukes a man at the 25. Now he's across the 40. Near sideline 50. 40. He's going to go all the way. Jeremiah Sparks with the pick 6.
Unbelievable play. No flags on the field. Incredible pick 6 from Jeremiah Sparks, taking that seemingly over 80 yards all the way downfield, reversing all the way to the other side from the far side to the near side, and getting a lot of blockers. Great job there by the defense to pave the way for a Sparks touchdown and get the Jordan-Elbridge on the board. Wow.
Well, Jeremiah Sparks already has an interception on the year. It was against Oswego. Now he's got 2, and this guy has scored in every way imaginable. Kick return, punt return, rush TD, reception, fumble TD, and now a pick six.
Just absolutely unbelievable so far here from Jeremiah Sparks. He really is running this entire Jordan-Elbridge offense, and he's doing it on the defensive side now, getting them in the end zone when the offense can't get it done.
So that's Sparks' 12th touchdown of the season. That leads Section 3. Section 3, Class C at least. So we get a delay here after the Sparks score. J.E. took a timeout. You don't see that every day, Brennan. Timeout on the two-point conversion / PAT.
And they do have a kicker, so we may see the point after. It's a 14-6 lead here for General Brown, and that touchdown is huge. It makes this a one-possession ball game, whether they make this or not, and they really get the momentum back with a play like this. I was talking about how important momentum is in any ball game, no matter the position you're in, and if you get the momentum back on a play like that, it is huge. General Brown's going to come out on the next drive, defeated after that last one, and if Jordan-Elbridge can take advantage, they can get the ball back and really capitalize on their position.
Yeah, it really can't be understated how big that was by Jeremiah Sparks. So, J.E., you mentioned they do have a kicker. That's Tyler Fietta, but they're not going to use him here. Jeff Lippa in the shotgun. Takes the snap, runs right, now looking to pass left, and there's no one home. No one in the left corner of the end zone for J.E. there, so the two-point conversion is no good.
Maybe Dakota Holbrook was supposed to make his way over there. He was swarmed by defenders. He was probably trying to just avoid an interception because you can return that for 2 if you want to.
So 6-14. General Brown's lead has been cut nearly in half with 7:49 to go in the second.
And now if you're the Jordan-Elbridge defense right here on this coming drive, what you need is a quick stop. You've gained the momentum back. You got on the board thanks to the Sparks pick 6. And what you really need to do now is just capitalize on the momentum. You got to keep General Brown from advancing downfield, and you got to give yourself good field position on the next drive.
Already, though, Brennan, this is a closer game than General Brown has played all year.
This is for sure. They've really had very little competition so far, and Jordan-Elbridge really starting to give him a fight here. It looked like General Brown was going to make this a not very close ball game until just a couple minutes ago. That pick 6 really makes this a closer ball game now and gives the Eagles a big chance to stay in this ball game.
Wins over Southern Hills, Hannibal, Port Byron, Union Springs outscored those opponents 198-16 combined. Jeremiah Sparks, the lefty, will kick off for J.E. The kick is low, bouncing ball, and it's going out of bounds. So that'll draw the flag. Out of bounds on the near side 10.
And you can tell there's things getting heated between these two squads. Saw Anthony Barron just on that last kickoff getting into it with Donald Haggard of the General Brown Lions. There's some tension between these two teams. We've seen a little bit of scuffling so far today. Anthony Barron was seeking a flag on that, and we got to keep an eye on that as the game goes forward because this could get dicey as the game goes on.
J.E. huddled up at the General Brown huddled up at the 30. J.E.'s defense ready to go. Breaks the huddle, and Heller will take it from the single back. Handoff up the middle. Good run by the lineman, Corey Smith. Corey Smith, that's got to be his first carry on the year.
Corey Smith took that a big way for a big guy. He just powered through the middle, and he just ran right through defenders. It took a lot to drag him down.
Smith, 6 feet, 250 pounds. Not easy to bring down. And he gets it again. No, it's a fake. Heller makes a man miss, cuts to the middle, fights ahead for about 4 yards.
You got 2 men in on that tackle there. Steven Tripp was involved. You also had Keith Titus getting on that one as well.
The 2 linebackers doing a nice job clogging their holes. 2nd and 6 now. Ball in Eagles territory. It's on the 47. Here's Heller under center. Handoff once again. And it was Corey Smith. Tackled by the legs, but it's close to the first down marker.
And Nate Melfi had to get low to bring that big man down. Nate Melfi, pretty small in comparison. Nate Melfi, only 5'10", 185, taking on 6', 250. Went down to the knees and dragged him down, kept them from getting that first down.
3rd and 1. Ball in the middle of the hash. Heller takes the snap. He's going to pass it. He's got pressure, but it's a screen pass complete to Lutz. Lutz on the left side has the first down and more across the 30. Lutz cuts to the middle, still going, has it on the left sideline before he's tripped up at the 5.
Big time blocking downfield for the Lions offense. Lutz took the screen pass, had blockers for days down the left sideline. It took a big effort to bring him down inside the 10. And it's going to be very easy here on out for General Brown unless they screw up like they did earlier with the fumble.
And he evaded one of the best athletes on JE, Jeremiah Sparks, on that run.
Jeremiah Sparks, again, a big credit to the big blocking there from the Lions offense. He got blocked very well by one of the receivers.
Heller's going to keep it, rolls out to the right. Looking on the right side of the end zone. Now he tucks it and takes it himself. Leaps over the goal line. Touchdown, General Brown. Jake Heller with his 2nd rushing TD of the day.
And Jake Heller almost got brought down there. Jeff Lippa couldn't get a wrap on him. And once he broke that tackle, it was just an easy leap into the end zone over the defenders.
So here comes the 2-point conversion attempt. Heller takes it, drops back, passes middle, and it's caught by Carson Pickerel. General Brown takes a 22-6 lead. 6:05 left in the second.
And that's a killer for the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles. They really hoped that they could get the momentum going after that pick 6 and keep it up on this drive. But it was really no difficulty for the Lions to get into the end zone on this drive. And now they do still have a little bit of momentum. They still had that energy from that pick 6, but it probably is depleted pretty heavily after that one. They get another chance on offense to try to keep this within reach.
4 plays, 65 yards. It only took 1:44 seconds on that drive. Most of the yards was on that big chunk reception by Lutz.
And Lutz, again, he had great blocking, and that's a big key for this Lions offense. Even when they don't get a big gain on the original play, they have good blockers. Their offensive line is providing a lot of cushion for the running backs. The wide receivers are very good at blocking downfield.
It's a really impressive performance, right, by General Brown's big guys, because you look at this JE team, that's their strength. They are very heavy on the offensive line and on the defensive line, but you wouldn't be able to tell from this game.
I mean, Mike Town, the big guy up the middle, 365 pounds, not really getting much done. A lot of pressure on the inside part of the offensive line, and a lot of runs off the middle, really going for no gain or maybe 1 or 2, and usually a loss.
Bryce Johnson getting ready to put his right foot into it. And the kickoff is up. Line drive over the head of Melfi. It's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback.
I think the Eagles are relieved that just made it into the end zone. If it didn't, that wouldn't have been too great. It would have been them very bad field position, but now they'll get to start their own 20, which is a lot better than starting from your own 1.
We've seen JE backed up a few times in this game.
They started once from their own 5, but if you remember, on the first play, they fumbled and gave it back to General Brown.
Vincent Griffin is in the JE huddle. First time we've seen him today. Trent Thomas on the near side. Griffin on the far side are the receivers. It's Lippa under center with Sparks in the backfield. Lippa takes the snap, hands off to Sparks. Sparks up the middle, doesn't find much room. Tackled near the line of scrimmage.
Corey Smith meeting him right there at the line. A gain of about 2 yards. And any gain you can get here if you're Jordan-Elbridge is important, but you need more than 2 yards on the average play. If you want to get the offense actually moving downfield, you need this momentum. You need to get within a 1-possession game. There's 5:40 left in the half. You really have to make this a closer ball game if you want to have a chance to stay in it.
JE breaks their huddle. 5 seconds on the play clock. Lippa has to hurry. 3 seconds now. And he does not get the snap off. So J.E.'s going to have to back it up 5 yards.
It was crucial that they got that 3-yard gain on that first play. Now that gets pretty much reversed, and then worse, it'll give them a 2nd and long, which is not what they need. They need to get the offense going to keep up pace with the General Brown offense.
I don't think Lipa was aware of the clock there. He seemed to be really taking his time, even after they broke the huddle, because they broke the huddle with about 10 seconds. That should have been enough time. Lipa single back. The snap is on the ground. General Brown jumped on it, but the referee blows their whistle. It's a false start on the offense once again. What do you think happened there, Brandon?
I don't know. Probably a miscommunication. I think it was the rare center false start, I think. It was very strange, but obviously, thankfully, the fumble didn't happen, so it's a 2nd down. And they're moved back, obviously, but it's not great. Timeout called by Jordan-Elbridge there. They need to get their bearings. It's not a great position to be in. 2nd and 15 from your own 15-yard line. You're down by 2 scores, and to stay in this ballgame, you really need to score on this drive some way, somehow, and yet they seem to be kicking themselves in the foot every single time.
Head coach Joe Fiocchi joins the J.E. huddle on this timeout. It's his first season at J.E. Took over for Tim Hawkins, but he's been in this sport for a very long time. He's been in coaching for 32 years. He had a 14-season career at Marcellus.
Certainly not a bad program over there at Marcellus High School. And now with this Jordan-Elbridge team really trying to get things going. I think they have a good start to the season, but against a team like General Brown, this is the real test. As he said, this Eagles team is untested, and now getting their first true challenge here in this ballgame, down 22-6 with 5:03 to go in the first half.
We'll see if they turn to their senior, Jeremiah Sparks. He's in the backfield with Melfi under center. Here's Melfi. Hands it off, and it's up the middle to the fullback. Forward progress stopped at the 22, a gain of about 3.
Mike Down, the center for this Eagles offensive line, trying to get some push. Ran a little bit too far ahead of his running back. Still a gain of 5, though, and not nearly as bad of a 3rd and long situation for Jordan-Elbridge.
That went to Melfi. Lipa toss left. It's Sparks who's going to look to throw. Sparks jumping throw looking for Thomas. Thomas is interfered with. The flag is out. So that's going to get J.E. out of trouble.
There was no doubt that there was pass interference there. The Jordan-Elbridge faithful here immediately jumped up and screamed. They knew what was about to happen. Both the defenders for General Brown swarmed and slammed him now before he even had a chance to reach out for the football. There was no doubt. And now that's really big because that gives them a 1st down where they were previously going to face a 4th and long if that didn't happen.
Jake Heller and Matt McManman were in coverage, and both of them got to Thomas too early. 15-yard penalty. 1st and 10 on the 34. 4:30 left in the 2nd. Sparks is in the shotgun. Takes the snap and fakes the handoff to Melfi. He'll take it himself. There's a flag out, and that'll go down as a pre-snap whistle. So we'll either get a false start or offsides on this. False start on J.E. It's their 2nd of the drive.
Mental mistakes. Those are the things that kill teams who are trying to pick up momentum. And here, the Jordan-Elbridge offense, more than anything, they need to get the ball moving. They need to consistently gain yardage and get into General Brown territory and find that end zone. But right now, they're just kicking themselves in the shins with penalties and setting themselves farther back. It's now 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10.
Once again, Sparks in the shotgun, Melfi on his right hip. Sparks takes the snap, and he hands to Melfi, but he's met in the backfield. Nicholas Tufo made the tackle. The 5'10" senior.
He's not a big guy, only 155 pounds, but makes a big-time tackle. dragging him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it was it was already a first and long, and now it's going to be even longer. Probably close to 2nd and 20 coming up.
2nd and 22. Jeff Lippa now with Melfi. Lippa takes the snap. He's going to look to run, runs left, but he's wrapped up and taken down. Damian Zawatsky was in the backfield for General Brown.
Zawatsky really able to get an arm out there. It was a real arm tackle. Just put his arm out, and Lippa was caught right up in the trap. He just dragged him down for another loss. 3rd and eternity coming up here for the Eagles.
When you're 298 pounds, sometimes an arm tackle will do.
Especially when Lippa himself only weighs 205.
3rd and 22. How will JE play this? They're going to go with Sparks as the quarterback. Sparks will fake the handoff to Melfi. He's got some room. Running room down the left side across the 30. So he nearly gets to the line of scrimmage, but of course on a 3rd and 22, not good enough.
It'll be still a 4th and long situation here. It's probably a punt coming up. 2:47 left in this first half, and the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles are trailing 22-6 against the General Brown Lions.
It is indeed Melfi out to punt.
Doesn't really seem like a situation where you could try to go for it on 4th down. That's incredibly risky considering the field position it would give the Lions if you fail.
Snap. Melfi's got it. Punts it away. And Lutz calls for a fair catch at the 40.
It'll be good field position starting here for the Lions at about their own 38-yard line, and they just got to keep the offense going if they want to seal this game away. They already have a 2-possession lead, and if you really get one more score, it'll be a 3-score lead. That'll be really tough, no matter how good Jordan-Elbridge is in the second half to get something going.
And the clock shouldn't be an issue. Even though they like to run the ball, they're able to go so fast that 2:41 is plenty of time for General Brown.
Their shortest drives have been less than a minute and a half.
Here's Heller, passes left, has a man, it's McMahon. And he spins away close to the first down marker.
Looks like he'll be ruled short, so the clock's going to keep running as he did not make his way out of bounds, and so it looked like it'll be a 2nd and short coming up here.
McMahon, the leading receiver for this General Brown squad. He's got 5 touchdowns on the year. Here's Heller dropping back once again. Looks left, throws left, has his man, caught past the first down marker. It's Pickerel on the curl, and he's brought down across the 50-yard line there.
Something you notice from Heller today, he's getting great protection in the pocket. He has the time to be patient and look for the best option there out in the receiving court. Carson Pickerel there with a nice pickup, gives them a first down.
Ball on the left hash, 2 minutes now to go in the second. Ball's on the 46. Heller in the pistol. Low snap, but he handles it and hands it off to Lutz. Lutz runs middle, and he's got room across the 30. Now the 20. Running towards the right pylon. Touchdown, Dominic Lutz. Flag down on the field. Look out for a hold, and it is. Lutz's big run erased.
That's one coming back. That's not what you want for the General Brown. That could have been a nail in the coffin there. Not for the entire game, but it would have been it really tough for Jordan-Elbridge. And now a new lease on life as that holding sets them even farther back.
You do get the feeling that JE needs a stop here. It cannot give up a touchdown with 1:43 left here, and the ball on the 49, so it is in their territory, but still a long way to go for General Brown. And General Brown doesn't really have a field goal kicker, so they just got to keep him out of the end zone. Heller in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks left, throws left, complete once again to Pickerel. Pickerel makes a move, but he's dragged down at the legs at the 43.
And he got out of bounds, so the clock stops at 1:35, and Jordan-Elbridge keeping the gain minimal there, but still, no one can head into the locker room down 3 touchdowns. I don't care what team you are. It's never an optimal position to be down that much at the half, and it'll be tough no matter who you are.
Heller hands it off up the middle. Lutz Spun around there, but he's got the first down at the 36. 37, that is.
The clock's going to stop as the chains move. This is big for the General Brown offense. They can move no matter what, but having the clock stop while they reset the chains really helps them to ensure they get a chance.
Heller, shotgun snap is low, handle it. He's got pressure, but he throws right, nearly intercepted by Sparks. The ball is on the ground. Heller was looking for McManaman, and Sparks was there. It went right through his hands.
You hardly get those opportunities if you're the Jordan-Elbridge defense. Sparks losing a big opportunity there for the interception. He just flat out dropped it. It was right in his mitts. Couldn't get a hold of it.
Heller in the shotgun, Lutz to his left. Handoff to Lutz up the middle. Wrapped up's got nothing. Jeff Lippa makes the tackle. He had help from Mike Town. 1:07 left. Clock is ticking. It's a 3rd and 10. General Brown scrambling for their play. Breaks the huddle. Bryce Johnson, the near side receiver. Heller drops back. He looks for Johnson. Now he's looking the other way. Flag down on the field. Heller tucks it and runs right. He tries to get the edge. Tackled down by Steve Tripp. It was near the line of scrimmage. There are 2 flags on the play. One is a hold.
So depending on how these penalties play out, if it works out in the favor of Jordan-Elbridge, they'll probably keep that because that gives a 4th down. Let's see what the penalties are. Got a hold on the offense, and that'll be the only call.
I think it was both referees saw the hold, which is why there were 2 flags down on the field.
They'll accept the penalty. It'll be 3rd and 22 coming up here for the Lions.
Are you surprised they accepted that?
I mean, honestly, not really, now that I think about it. If you have 4th and short, if you're the Lions, that's pretty easy to pick up. And you also have the Eagles that would start pretty far back in their own territory. No, let's just keep them away from the end
Ball's on
zone.
the 50, middle of the hash marks. Here's Heller. He's got pressure. Heller's taken down in the backfield. Jeff Lippa coming off the edge once again. Clock's down to 17 seconds now, and they're just going to run it down.
Colby Humberstone in to help there. And as the clock runs out on this first half, a big stop there by the Jordan-Elbridge defense.
Brendan, how do you feel if you are a Jordan-Elbridge Eagle going into halftime?
I mean, you don't feel great. You're down 2 touchdowns, but that defensive stop on that last drive really gives you the momentum, and you get the ball back. Do you get the ball? Do they get the ball back?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, they have the momentum either way, and if they can keep that up whenever they come out of the locker room, it'll be huge coming out.
It is a 22-6 ball game. General Brown leads. We'll step aside for halftime. You're listening to Section 3 Football on CNY Stream.
Just let us escape and fly away tonight. We have the world in our sight, and I know together we'll be alright. Can you see forever we will go?
Halftime break here in Jordan, New York. Jordan-Elbridge trailing General Brown 22-6 here at half. Alongside Gill Gross, I'm Brandon Ross. Now, Gill, in the first half, it was really the General Brown offense getting everything done. How do you think they were able to get so successful?
They're crafty. You know they're running it, but you're not sure who's running it. You could have Eli Raleigh, you can have Dominic Lutz, Coney, or Heller, who's actually the quarterback and the leading rusher on this side. They run out of the wishbone formation, and they go fast. So you're really, it's a chaotic offense to try to defend.
It's a very interesting offense, sort of like the wing T in sort of repurposing it. But when Jordan-Elbridge, they only got those 6 points, but really everything that's come for them so far has been on the back of Jeremiah Sparks.
As usual, Brendan, but you know what? He's had a dominant game. He had a defensive touchdown. But offensively, you really have seen General Brown key in on him. And honestly, it might have to be other guys for JE contributing if they want to get back into this game.
And now the keys to the second half. Is that your key to the second half for Jordan-Elbridge? Get other guys involved.
It's more so forced turnovers. I feel like if these two teams are kind of going toe-to-toe and both protecting the ball, General Brown's going to win this one. I think that's pretty clear based on the first half. How JE can get in this game is if they force turnovers. If General Brown turns the ball over, then we could get a close second half.
You saw at the end of that first half, Jeremiah Sparks almost getting that second interception, but he couldn't quite get a hold of it. And now the key to the second half for General Brown. Just keep doing what you're doing. You already have a 2-score lead heading into the locker room. Coming back out, you think they just have to do the same?
Once again, they have to hold on to the ball. They have to protect the football. They need to understand that if we don't turn the ball over, we are better than them, and we're going to win this football game.
Gill, thank you so much for your insight. Once again, this is the Halftime Report on CNY Stream. You are listening to Section 3 Football.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are
Second half about to get underway here in Jordan, New York. Jordan-Elbridge trailing General Brown 22-6 after 24 minutes of play. Alongside Gill, Gross, I am Brandon Ross, and Gill. Jordan-Elbridge really needs to get something going here on these first few drives.
They do. Obviously, when you're trailing, the start is so important, and you could feel at a few different points in this game the wind being sucked out of JE's sails, but it was really that pick six by Jeremiah Sparks that has them still with a pulse.
He also had a chance at another interception late in that second quarter. Couldn't capitalize on it, but they did keep General Brown off the scoreboard. Jeremiah Sparks getting ready to kick it off for Jordan-Elbridge, going right to left. It'll be Dominic Lutz to return it for General Brown. Sparks gets left, so he puts it up towards the left side, and that will go out of bounds. It'll be a penalty flag, and they'll start from the 40.
We've seen a few kicks out of bounds today already, and that's got to be one of your main priorities, is obviously keeping it within the white lines.
Now, Jeremiah Sparks has provided the big spark for the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles so far for most of this game. What do you think? He just has to keep it going?
They need to find creative ways to get the ball in his hands. To be honest, they're lining up. Oh, and they're going to actually
They're going to opt to re-kick. Interesting call here by General Brown.
I guess they really want the ball in the hands of Matt McManaman.
Matt McManaman back to kick. Back to receive, rather. Jeremiah Sparks to kick it again, right to left. It'll go from midfield at the 35. McManaman waiting on his own 20. Sparks, a lefty kicker, lapsed the time, kicked it to the left side. He'll kick this one towards the left side again. It'll be a one bounce field by McManaman. He takes it past the 25, and he's absolutely leveled by Tyler Fietta, coming flying in and bringing him down.
Well, there wasn't much space. There wasn't really anywhere for McManaman to go there. He was on the right sideline, but why not just trot out of bounds? Instead, he takes a huge hit.
So General Brown will start from their own 27-yard line from the right hash. And coming out again to work the offense is Jake Heller. Has provided all of the scoring so far for General Brown. Working out of the wishbone, one receiver to each side. Takes the handoff, fakes the handoff to the left side. He keeps it for himself. Cuts back up to the middle, gets past the 30, and is brought down near the 35. Loses his helmet, so he'll have to go off the field for a play, and a flag's down at the end.
Probably a face mask coming up here, Brendan. Whenever you see that helmet fly off and a flag fly immediately after, that's what we're probably going to see.
So coming on the field in the place of Jacob Heller, running on Caleb Johnson, and now Carson Pickerel, the backup quarterback, will take over for one play. And the ball's going to get moved up on the face mask penalty. It'll move up to about the 45. Actually, it'll be exactly midfield here for the General Brown Lions.
Pickerel may be the backup quarterback, but we've seen him as a go-to guy as a receiver in this game.
It was a close competition in the preseason with Heller coming out on top. Wishbone formation again. A real bunch set here near the offensive line. Hands it off to Dominic Lutz. Runs up the middle. Trying to bounce to the outside. And he's brought down. Picks up about 10. Good for a first down. Brought down by Marion Quigley. But a big pickup there for the running back Lutz.
Good pickup. Brought down by Quigley. The track star, Brendan. Marion Quigley is a state finalist in the pentathlon.
Certainly had the wheels to drag him down there, but still, first down now for the Lions. And Jake Heller back on the field after taking the play off for losing his helmet from the wishbone. He hands it off, and there's a flag on the play pre-snap that was going to go to number 42, Trey Coney, but it looks like it'll be a false start.
Well, we've seen JE with a lot of pre-snap penalties, but that might be the first one we've seen out of General Brown. It's such a well-coached team by Doug Black, so disciplined, so we don't see these mistakes often. It's going to happen sometimes, but you really do see the contrast. Not that Joe Fiacchi is a bad coach, but Doug Black, I mean, he runs a tight ship.
Heller from the wishbone again. He takes the snap, hands it off this time again to Lutz. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. The quarterback on the defensive side now, Jeff Lippa, leading on that tackle for a loss.
Lippa might be the quarterback, but I'll tell you what, with Anthony Barron, he's been the best defender on the JE side coming off the edge.
It'll be a second and very long coming up here for the General Brown offense. Working from the middle of the field, just behind the 50-yard line. He fakes the handoff, running to his left. Heller facing heavy pressure, and he's brought down for a sack. Steven Tripp in there on the solo sack, and that ball's going back even further. It was 2nd and 21, and now it'll be 3rd and probably over 30 yards.
This is the best defensive possession all game by JE coming out of the half rather. Now they just got to close it out on this 3rd down.
10:15 to go here in this 3rd quarter of play. General Brown still with a 22-6 lead, but now facing a 3rd and forever on their own 41. Heller takes the snap, looking right, throws it over, and it's caught by Eli Rowley. He breaks through a few more yards, but he's brought down at the Jordan-Elbridge 46. That won't be enough to even get within 10 yards of the first down marker. It will be 4th and long.
Well, a safe, conservative play call, knowing that they get to go for it on a 4th down here.
They don't really punt a lot. They usually like to keep the ball moving downfield. They're in JE territory now. 4th and 16. Rowley out to the left side at receiver. And a wishbone formation. Heller, 3-step drop. Looking to his left. Now rolling right. Throws it up over the middle. Looking for a receiver. Incomplete. Just out of the reach of Caleb Johnson over the secondary. And now it's Jordan-Elbridge ball.
Yeah, he just skied that, but Johnson didn't create much separation anyway. So a good job not underthrowing the receiver. Instead, well, actually, an interception wouldn't have done much good anyway. So really, at the end of the day, that was a tremendous defensive possession by JE.
Solid coverage there at safety by Nate Melfi, keeping Johnson on lockdown. And now the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles take over on their own 46-yard line. It'll be Jeremiah Sparks for a direct snap. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Has a running back on his left hip. He takes the snap, throws it directly left, and he finds a receiver. It's Pickney, and he runs past the 45. It's actually Nate Melfi on the reception, and that'll be very close to a first down.
That was savvy because whenever Sparks takes that direct snap, you're expecting a run. They used the screen pass, and it worked well.
Same formation here on this next possession. They're on the 44-yard line of General Brown now. It's a first down. Play is whistled in. Again, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Jeremiah Sparks in the shotgun. He fakes the handoff to Pickney. He takes it for himself on the middle, but he's brought down immediately at the line of scrimmage. Big time tackle there by number 55, Tyler Scordo. It'll be a short pickup of about a yard, but it'll be 2nd and 9.
Huge play by Scordo, a textbook tackle. He put his left shoulder right into the hip of Jeremiah Sparks.
2nd and 9 coming up, 8:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jordan-Elbridge trailing 22-6. Now they flip the formation. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Sparks still in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Pickney, takes it himself again. And again, Scordo swallows him up at the line of scrimmage. Very short gain there for Sparks, and it'll be 3rd and medium.
Well, that's how you earn some playing time as a senior. Scordo was not listed as a starter, but he comes up huge 2 plays in a row.
And he's not the biggest guy in the world, 5'8", 215 pounds, still getting the job done here. And now a 3rd and 6 coming up for the Eagles. From the middle of the field, 2 receivers to each side, 1 running back in the backfield with Jeremiah Sparks. 3-step drop for the lefty. He's rolling out to his left. Heavy pressure, running towards the sideline. Looking downfield, and he's brought down out of bounds.
That was a very bad mistake by Sparks there. If he threw it away, you could get a 4th and 6, an obvious situation where you go for it. But now that he took the sack, we might have to see a Nate Melfi punt.
It's 4th down and long from the General Brown 48, and a timeout. Nope, no timeout. Looked like there was a whistle there, but it's just a change of play. And Nate Melfi is back to punt now for Jordan-Elbridge. Back to return is Dominic Lutz. Melfi puts up a high boot, and it's going to be fielded by Lutz at about the 15. He breaks a tackle right away and runs down the right sideline past the 30. Now running to the middle of the field past the 40, past the 45, 50, 40, 35. No one in front of him. Touchdown, Dominic Lutz. General Brown now leads 28-6 in the 3rd quarter. No flags on the field. That one's legit. It's now a 3-score game here in Jordan.
Lutz fielded that punt with 2 JE defenders right on top of him, and it didn't matter. I mean, that was almost a situation where you call for a fair catch, but Lutz had the confidence to make the catch and to juke a couple defenders. Once he was by those defenders, he really got good blocking at the second level, and that's how he went all the way.
Blocking's been very key for this General Brown offense moving so far today. Special teams also doing a good job. General Brown, as always, going for 2. Now 28-6 with 7:33 to go in the third quarter. Heller takes the snap, fakes the handoff, pitches it to the opposite side, and it's brought in by Eli Rowley. Give them 2. It's now 30-6, a Lions lead, and now they're taking a big lead here. Not a position you want to be in if you're the Eagles.
No, certainly not. And it's a team that likes to run the football. So obviously, when you have a deficit this big, 30-6 now, it's going to be hard to crack into that lead when the clock is your enemy when you're running the football on almost every down. So let's see what Jeff Lippa can do here, because if I'm JE, I have to push the envelope here and try to pass the ball a little bit.
You get another chance on offense. It's another offensive chance here in this second half for the Eagles, who have squandered many opportunities so far for this ball game. What do you think they need to do different? Do you think they need to change anything up this time around?
It's hard to say, but like I said, I think you need to give the ball to Jeff Lippa. Look, his overall stats, his completion percentage is under 50. He's only 16 for 31, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hasn't thrown an interception, though. I think you need to look at your quarterback and you say, you know, this has to be your time here. You got to spread the ball around. You got to use Trent Thomas, Nate Melfi, Dakota Holbrook is 6'6". We need to see maybe these receivers make some plays, but ultimately it's got to be up to Jeff Lippa.
After the big punt return touchdown by Dominic Lutz, Bryce Johnson on to kick off for General Brown, left to right. Jeremiah Sparks and Nate Melfi back to return. Bryce Johnson boots it to the left side, and it's taken near the 10 by Nate Melfi. He's going to run it right back up the middle, past the 20, at the 25. He tries to bounce to the outside, but he's immediately met by a swarm of defenders led by Caleb Johnson. It'll be a good pickup there, and they'll start from their own 25.
Good kick coverage there.
Nate Melfi brings the ball up to the 25.
And also a good kick. You had Melfi backpedaling, so that's good special teams by General Brown, and that's what you see with a very, very well-coached team.
Solid kick by Bryce Johnson to start them pretty far back in their own territory. They're going to be marked at the 27-yard line to start off this drive. It looks like it'll once again be Jeremiah Sparks under. Actually, nope, change that. Jeff Lippa is under center, single back, rather I formation here. He takes the handoff, and he hands it right off to Nate Melfi. He's immediately sworn behind the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Matt Doldo of the General Browns defense.
That hasn't worked, Brendan. They've tried that fullback run to Melfi a few times. It hasn't went anywhere. Credit to the big guys on this General Brown defensive line, Matt Doldo and Damian Zawatsky.
Offensive line hasn't given much protection to any of these Eagles players, and now a second and long coming up from the 25. Again, under center, Jeff Lippa in an I formation. One receiver to each side. He hands it off to Jeremiah Sparks, runs up the middle, gets passed into the second level, and he's brought down for a short gain by Tyler Scordo. So a short pickup there. It's still going to be 3rd and long.
Once again, you're not trusting Jeff Lippa now. Now you're going to have to. It's 3rd and 10.
The running game hasn't done much for the Eagles so far. Most of their pickups have come through the short passing game. A very early play on, do you remember, there was a play where it was a screen pass, a decent pickup, but it had to get called back, unfortunately. Now Lippa working out of the shotgun. Jeremiah Sparks on his left hip. 3 receivers out on the far side, 1 to the near side. Lippa takes the snap, 3-step drop, now rolls out to his right, looks over the middle, and it's picked off! Interception there for General Brown. Tyler Scordo running down the right sideline, passed inside the 5, and he's brought down at around the 3-yard line. Tyler Scordo, the middle linebacker, with the interception for the Lions. And now the Lions have great field position on the 3-yard line of Jordan-Elbridge.
Brendan, not only was that an interception, but he had Trent Thomas streaking down the left sideline, wide open, and Lippa just didn't see him.
And now a 30-6 lead for General Brown with 5:54 to go in the third quarter, and a chance to make that lead even greater here. First and goal coming from the 3-yard line. Jake Heller, as always, coming out to lead the offense. They're starting on the right hash. Couple of changes on the offensive line coming here for the General Brown offense. They're sending 2 receivers out to the right, an extended offensive line. Wishbone formation, handoff to Corey Smith, and he piles in for the touchdown. Another score here for the General Brown offense. It's now a 36-6 lead with 5:48 to go in this third quarter.
You got to wonder what happened in practice this week when they realized that you can give the ball to Corey Smith, because he's gotten it a few times and he's gotten really good gains using his big frame every single time. But until this game, Smith hadn't had a carry.
General Brown is always going for 2 out of the wishbone. 2 receivers to the left side. Heller takes the snap, hands it off again to Corey Smith, piles through a couple of defenders, and he's into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. It's now a 38-6 lead here for the Lions. And again, Corey Smith just piling through everybody.
I wouldn't want to tackle him. Smith also knows who he is. He knows how he's supposed to run. So, he really just goes at guys. He's not afraid of contact. And when someone runs right at you, it's difficult when you're the smaller guy.
You see it with a lot of power backs. They try to be a little too shifty when they know their big thing is running over defenders. How important has it been so far for General Brown that Corey Smith has been just doing his job and running over everybody?
It's been huge because it's just another guy. You add to their list of weapons, and it's such a long list. We haven't seen Bryce Johnson get the ball. Deshaun Thorgal Brown is injured for this game. He's coming back. So you play General Brown, and there's so many guys you have to worry about. And on the other side, we've seen what can happen when you rely on one player. You can game plan for that player. But against General Brown, you can't game plan for them.
All 3 touchdowns in the first half, courtesy of Jake Heller. Both the first 2 so far coming courtesy of different players. The first one off an interception, or rather on a punt return by Dominic Lutz, and the second one coming off a short run by Corey Smith. Bryce Johnson kicking left to right again. It's Jeremiah Sparks and Nate Melfi to return. Kickoff from the 40s, kick to the left side. It's fielded near the 10 by Nate Melfi. And he pitches it to Jeremiah Sparks, and he's trying to cross to the left side of the field. Right past the middle and finding the sideline. And he's passing the 40, and he's brought down by a shoelace. It'll be a solid pickup there, and Sparks, not good for Jordan-Elbridge. He looks like he's hurt. Looks like he gets back up, but he got knocked up pretty bad on that tackle. It's now 5:39 to go here in this third quarter. 38-6, General Brown leads, and Jordan-Elbridge needing to get something done here, starting this drive from their own 43.
Sparks came down on his shoulder. He was tackled from behind, sort of a back heel tackle, and Sparks just came down on his right shoulder. He's flexing it now, but he's staying on the field.
And Jeremiah Sparks starting in the shotgun. Jeff Lippa, the quarterback, in wide receivers position on the near side. 3 receivers out to the right. Sparks takes the snap, throws it to the right to Nate Melfi, and he tries to break a couple tackles, spins out of them, and runs past the 50 on the right sideline, past the 40, and he's brought down near out of bounds. Oh, he stays on his feet, and he's brought down past the 25. For a long time there, he looked like he was about to go down, but he just kept pushing through, and now they're close to the General Brown red zone.
Nate Melfi is such a good athlete. He can catch it, he can run it, he can defend, and look at this for the first time, J.E. moving quickly.
Jeremiah Sparks still in the shotgun for J.E. Jeff Lippa again out to the left at wide receiver. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, tries to run up the middle, and he gets a short bit of yardage, but not a lot as he's swarmed by the defensive line for the Lions.
Once again, not much success between the tackles for J.E. So you got to try to find creative ways to get the ball on the outside to a guy like Melfi or Sparks.
Mike Town anchoring that offensive line at center, 365 pounds, still getting overpowered by the defensive line for General Brown. 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles. 4:49 to go here in this third quarter. Sparks in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the left. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, again runs up the middle, another short pickup, and again swarmed by the defensive line. That play continuing to be run, continuing to not produce big results.
Yeah, it's a read option play, so you fake the handoff to the running back on the outside, the quarterback keeps it and runs up the middle. In theory, it's a good play when you have a guy like Sparks who's so powerful and so fast as well, but like you said, at what point are you going to give up?
3rd and 6 coming up here from the right hash, working from the 20-yard line of General Brown. the Eagles trying to get something going. Sparks again in the shotgun. Takes a 3-step drop, looking to his left, now rolling out towards the sideline. He's looking downfield. He still has a man open, and he finds a man. Dakota Holbrook in there in the end zone for a touchdown.
Improvisation at its finest. That was a broken play, but Sparks and Holbrook communicate telepathically about 20 yards apart, and there's a flag on the field.
Pretty late flag there. I did not seen that before. That's a huge, huge penalty, and that's going to really hurt Jordan-Elbridge. A passing interference on the offense, and that play for the first touchdown since the first quarter is going to come back.
That is a backbreaker, of course.
After that, it's going to become a 3rd and almost a million. I can't really do that math. It's going to be about a 3rd and 29, it looks like. Working from the 41, first down marker is at the 12.
This is a tough position. This is, I mean, not tough as in getting a first down. It's like, what play do you even call here?
Sparks in the shotgun, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Nate Pinckney at his left hip, and a timeout will be called by Jordan-Elbridge as they try to figure this out. They're trailing 38-6 against General Brown with 3:56 to go in this third quarter. Gill, that play was huge, and now it's getting called back. What do you think that does to their mentality?
I don't know if JE still believes they can win this game, but you still, what about the next game and the game after that? You draw back to moments like these. So if you have a great touchdown pass from Jeremiah Sparks to Dakota Holbrook, 20 yards against General Brown, the best team in the section arguably, I mean, that's something that it's good for a football team to feel that success. So for that to be taken back is still very important.
And for General Brown, they continue their reign of dominance. Not quite the scoring performance we've seen so far this season from them. They put up 60 in all their 3 games so far, but right now they're still doing pretty well. 3rd and 29 from the General Brown 41. Jeremiah Sparks in at quarterback, working in the shotgun. Nate Pinckney to his right hip. 1 receiver on the near side, 3 on the far side. Working from the left hash. Jeremiah Sparks takes the snap, 3-step drop. Looks over the middle, and he's throwing it downfield towards the sideline to Nate Melfi, and it's caught near the pylon. Is he in bounds? Yes, sir. Touchdown, Jordan-Elbridge.
Sparks stepped up in the pocket, threw it about as far as he possibly could, and Nate Melfi is a football player and a half. He can do it all. He looked over his right shoulder, tracked that ball the whole way, beat 2 defenders, and made the play.
41-yard touchdown pass for Jeremiah Sparks, and it looks like they're going to, are they going to kick the point after? They're going to go for it. Looks like they're going to go for the point after. Tyler Fietta on to try and kick the extra point here. It's now 38-12 General Brown with 3:49 to go in this third quarter.
Fietta 8 for 12 PATs on the year, so it could go either way.
Snap, hold, puts it up, and it's right through the uprights. Extra point is good. 38-13 is the score here in the third quarter now. That's a big-time score. Had that first touchdown called back, working from horrible field position, but somehow Jeremiah Sparks getting it done.
Well, we haven't seen Sparks at quarterback that often, and clearly that's the plan for Joe Fiacchi. That was kind of the trick up his sleeve, and I don't know if it's paid dividends until now. Sparks just stepped into that one and really made a perfect throw. And once again, these are just things you draw back on. And now, if you're General Brown, it's back to what we talked about at halftime. Turnovers. If you protect the football, you're going to win this game.
It'll be Jordan-Elbridge getting ready to kick off, this time from right to left. Jeremiah Sparks, as always, on to kick off. It'll be Matt McManaman back to receive, standing around his own 15-yard line. This kickoff coming from the middle of the field for Jordan-Elbridge. Sparks getting ready to position it. Wind is strong here, but not enough to keep the football off the tee. Sometimes that can be an issue for kickers.
Of course.
Sparks, a lefty kicker, getting ready to boot this one off. 3:49 to go in this third quarter. And it's an onside kick attempt, and it looks like it's a scramble for a football on the ground, and Jordan-Elbridge thinks they have it. Still waiting on a ruling from the referees.
Steve Tripp strongly believes J.E. recovered that ball.
Still a conference between the referees.
That might have been touched before it reached the 35, or the 45 rather.
And they rule it Jordan-Elbridge football. The onside kick works. They keep possession, and they'll have it at about the 49.
Well, that's as good as a turnover. So that's what J.E. needs. Not easy.
Huge win there on that play for Jordan-Elbridge. They'll start from their own 49. Great field position. And now trailing 38-13 with 3:40 to go in this third quarter. They have a chance to chip away at this lead. Sparks alone in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left.
You worried about tired General Brown defenders too.
Working from the left hash now. Pause and play by the referees. And there's an offensive lineman replacement here quickly for this Jordan-Elbridge team. Not sure the reason. Perhaps a player needed to come out. Either way, first down and 10 from their own 49. Sparks alone in the backfield. 5 receivers. Takes a snap. Quick screen to Nate Melfi. He takes it near the 49. Breaks past the 50. Spins around a couple defenders. And he's brought down just short of the 45. A good pickup of about 4 or 5 yards there. And it gets Jordan-Elbridge moving on first down.
Melfi's feeling it. He made another defender miss there. And you got to get the ball in Nate Melfi's hands.
We haven't seen a lot of the screen pass lately, but it has worked when it's been happening for Jordan-Elbridge so far. Sparks, again, all alone there in the backfield. Same set. 3 receivers far, 2 near. Working again from the left hash. Sparks takes the snap. 3-step drop. Throwing over the middle. And it's intercepted almost. It looked like Dominic Lutz had that in his hands, but instead it jars loose when he hits the ground. It'll be 2nd and 5. And a big missed opportunity there for General Brown to rob the Eagles of an offensive drive.
Yeah, it just popped out of his hands, but there we see Sparks' inexperience as a quarterback. He's not your pure quarterback, so I think he looked left. That was the first part of his progression, and they weren't open on the left. Now you have to go to your second target, which is on the right. It's very hard for an inexperienced quarterback to go through that progression.
3rd down and 5 coming up from the General Brown 46-yard line. Again, same formation, 5 receivers, Sparks alone in the backfield. He takes the snap, and he takes it himself. It's a draw play up the middle. He's running to the left side past the 35, 30, 25. Spinning past a couple defenders. He's brought down just shy of the 15-yard line. Sparks getting something going here for the Jordan-Elbridge offense, now inside the Lions' red zone.
A quarterback draw, very smart play call, because just when General Brown kind of ignores Sparks there, considers him a pass thrower, that is where Sparks will hurt you. Great play call.
You don't expect a draw play on an empty backfield, but nevertheless, same formation once again. Sparks alone in the backfield on the 16-yard line. Takes the snap, running back, throws it up high into the end zone, and it looks like it might have been intercepted. Yes, sir. Picked off by Matt McManaman in the end zone. And that ball is going the other way. And that'll be ruled a touchback, and it'll be taken over by General Brown on their own 20. Big opportunity missed there for Jordan-Elbridge on the interception.
He was looking for Nate Melfi, but Nate Melfi was double covered. So Sparks on his back foot just kind of throws up a prayer, and those kind of passes will get intercepted.
And so now General Brown again starting from their own 20 after the interception. 2:34 to go in this third quarter. The Lions with a 38-13 lead. Starting from the middle of the field, no wide receivers, and it's a handoff to Dominic Lutz. He goes off the tackle and tries to bounce through the middle. He bets past the 30, and he's brought down. Gain of about 12 and a first down.
J.E. needs to keep fighting here, and I'm sure the coaching staff will be on top of that. After throwing an interception, you felt like you were back in the game for a second there.
Couple defensive switches here for Jordan-Elbridge. Dakota Holbrook coming out of the game, and Landry LaFleur coming in to replace. Similar formation here, working from the left hash, 1st and 10. It's a handoff this time. It's going to Coney, and he runs past the first down marker, and he bounces to the outside past the 50, past the 45, 40, past the 30, and he's dragged down from behind by Jeremiah Sparks just short of the 20-yard line. Big-time pickup there from Trey Coney, and it's a first down, and now they're close to the red zone for Jordan-Elbridge.
Such a good job by Coney navigating traffic through the middle of the field, but then we saw Jeremiah Sparks. If he wasn't as fast as he was, that's 6.
So now a first down and 10 coming from the Eagles' 22-yard line. 1:57 left to go in this third quarter of play. And General Brown already with a big 38-13 lead, a chance to pad that here. Wishbone formation again. No receivers stepped out. Heller fakes this pass, the handoff, rolling out to his right. Passes it up, and it's caught by Carson Pickerel near the 10-yard line, and he'll be ruled in bounds. That'll be just enough for a first down.
Really good job by Pickerel creating separation, but that's one of those play calls where you take a quarterback like Jake Heller, and that's a high percentage pass there. That's one of those 8 out of 10 success rate passes, which you love.
First and 10 from the Eagles' 11-yard line. Heller in the wishbone. He gives the ball off to Lutz, and he gives it right back to Raleigh running around the right side. Gets past the 5. He's brought down by Jeremiah Sparks. Gets very close to the end zone, but just a couple yards short. A double reverse there. How about that?
One of the staples of the wishbone is the double reverse. Because you have 2 guys in the backfield, you're able to run that play. Didn't work there that well, although did get back to scrimmage.
So it'll be a 2nd and 2, rather a 2nd and 3 from the 4-yard line. Heller under center, fakes the handoff to Corey Smith. He throws it up in the air, and it's caught by Dominic Lutz. Touchdown, but there is a flag on the field near the line of the end zone, and that one might be coming back.
It might be a hold on Corey Smith.
The ball was faked on a handoff to him. Nope, the penalty is going to be called on the... Oh, it was...
On the defense.
It's penalty on the defense. Penalties declined. Touchdown stands. Dominic Lutz with a touchdown reception. It's now 44-13. The Lions lead with 59 seconds to go in this third quarter. And this game's really getting out of hand. It seems like there's almost no path to victory left for the Eagles. As always, the General Brown offense going for 2. Heller in the shotgun. Snap is low. He picks it up, tries to run up the middle, but he's immediately swarmed by the defensive line. He's ruled down. The 2-point attempt is no good, but the touchdown gives them a 31-point lead near the end of the third quarter.
This is tough for JE, but once again, you have to look for moral victories here. It's not every day you get to play a team that Coach Fiacchi called a measuring stick team. So you need to continue to measure yourselves. If you have a good fourth quarter coming up, you can say, I can play, we can play a full game. We have the stamina to go 4 quarters against anyone. So it's these little moral victories that you can take out of a game like this.
And another thing, in a big loss like this, obviously you have a lot of flaws exposed. That's also probably a big part of a big loss that you can take something advantageous out of.
Yeah, it is tough when there is that talent deficit. And I think we've seen it where we've seen General Brown be most impressive is in the trenches, because that's where JE normally has the better side when it comes to Class C football.
Bryce Johnson getting ready to kick off from General Brown from left to right. Back to receive Nate Melfi and Jeremiah Sparks for the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles. Kicking off from the middle of the field. Johnson gets ready to boot. 59 seconds left in this third quarter. General Brown now leading 44-13. A low kick right in the direction and jumped on top of by Griffin Vincent just to down it. It'll be a start for this Eagles drive just past the 30-yard line. So now 57 seconds left to go in this third quarter of play. And the Eagles starting another offensive drive inside their own territory, starting at the 33. Jeremiah Sparks going to the same formation that worked for them on that last possession. 5 receivers, no running backs or tight ends here.
To be honest, Brendan, I do like this formation for JE.
Sparks takes the snap, quick drop, looks to his right, and he hits Nate Melfi on a screen pass. And he gets past the defender, gets past the 45, 50, past the 45 of Golden General Brown, and he's brought down out of bounds. Solid pickup there, almost 20 yards for Melfi on that one. Gets tackled out of bounds, and it's a first down, and they're now in Lions territory.
That was the best pure quarterbacking play we've seen by Sparks all day. He saw the blitz, and he knew he had to get rid of it right away. He took the snap, he flipped it, and he ripped it.
Same formation once again. It's really been working for JE these past 2 drives. Now 3 receivers to the near side. Sparks takes a 3-step drop, runs back over the middle, now rolling to his right. The southpaw throws it to the right side, and it's incomplete. Intended for Jeff Lippa, but he can't get a hold of it, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
A good try, though, and we see Sparks a little bit more comfortable operating within the pocket there. So he made the right play there. He found the right target. It was just a tough play, and Lippa couldn't hang on.
Just over 42 seconds left to go in this 3rd quarter. Same formation again, 2nd and 10 from the 45. Quick screen pass over to Nate Pinckney. He runs past the 45, but he's immediately met by a swarm of Lions defenders. That might be a loss of 1, but it's probably no gain, and it'll be a 3rd and long here for the Eagles.
No gain for the Eagles.
Pinckney had nowhere to go there.
20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. This will be the last play of the 3rd, or they're just going to wait the clock out as the 3rd quarter will come to a close. It's a 44-13 lead here for the General Brown Lions over the Jordan-Elbridge Eagles. You're listening to Section 3 Football on CNY Stream. "44-13, General Brown leads back on CNY Stream. Brennan, in your playing days, how did you feel out on the field when you had a blowout score? We'll get back to that question after the first snap of the 4th quarter. And JE going back to the bread and butter, it's Jeremiah Sparks in the empty set. Sparks with his arms up, waiting on the referee's whistle. It comes, but it's they're gonna have to talk things over. Some confusion at the line of scrimmage. So waiting on the play. There goes the whistle. So now Sparks is ready. Takes the snap knee high, drops back, has to step up in the pocket, and he's got to dive down. Sparks had nowhere to go. He was swarmed by the General Brown defensive line. So a loss of 6 on the play. Not a lot of protection there from the offensive line. And going back to my playing days, a win like this always felt good. And near the end, you got to have a little fun sometimes. I remember some of the linemen got to play linebacker. They gave one of the D linemen a chance at fullback. It was a lot of fun. But obviously in a game like this, Jordan-Elbridge still trying to get something done and get something positive out of it.
So 4th and 16, Melfi's going to have to punt. He's at his own 35. Low snap, has to pick it up off the ground, does get the punt off. It's a one-hopper, goes by Lutz, and Lutz can't get it. It's down at the 1. Trent Thomas hustles back for JE.
Big-time hustle there by Trent Thomas down to inside the 1-yard line. General Brown not in a great spot, and they've had good jobs moving this offense forward, but dangerous spot. They're pretty prone to a safety from where they're starting from.
And Melfi picked that snap off the ground. Almost a disaster. Turns into the best punt of the game. Brennan, what about when you were on the other end, the losing end?
You know, sometimes it happens and you just got to live with it. You got to have the learning experience. You just got to suck it up, take your beating, and then you'll go to the film room the next week and you got to learn what you did wrong and how to improve the next time out.
General Brown backed up. It's a handoff to Trey Coney. Coney navigates up the middle. He's got space across the 10 and close to the 15-yard line where he's taken down. So with the goal line at Jake Heller's back, a big run by Coney gives General Brown some space to breathe.
Coney, one of the many running backs who's given a big boost to the Lions offense today. Again, Thorgal Brown not available today, but Dominic Lutz, Eli Rowley, all of them getting the job done today. Even Matt McManaman getting in on some receptions.
Heller takes the snap and gives it to Lutz on the right side. Lutz has space across the 25. Nice tackle by Thomas in the secondary, but a first down run by Lutz.
Again, it's getting really tough to stop this General Brown offense. They just keep moving downfield, and even when there's a good tackle made, they've usually already picked up good yardage.
10:43 to go in the first. General Brown leads 44-13. Two wide receivers set out wide, single back formation, Heller under center. Takes the snap and goes ahead with it himself. Heller breaks a few tackles close to the first down marker to the 40 on the right side. Not quite at the 40, but enough to move the chains.
Heller brought down by Stevie Tripp.
Again, it's all about moving the chains.
Heller came into this contest with 257 rushing yards, a touchdown on 23 attempts. Now once again, back to the wishbone. One receiver to the left. Heller takes it forward himself again, dives ahead for about 4.
And that play could have been broken up pretty early, but you had a great block there on the offensive line.
Around the tackle.
I couldn't really tell the number now, but someone on the interior of that offensive line really got a good tackle, dragging one of the defensive tackles towards behind the line of scrimmage, pushed him 5 yards back. How about that? That's really unique for an offensive line like this.
Corey Smith in the backfield, and the handoff is to Smith. He works ahead for 5 yards, trying to gain some extra, and he does. Gets to about the 47, so that'll set up a 3rd and short.
Landry LaFleur got him by the legs, but he just kept trying to go, and he was dragging LaFleur for a ride until a couple other defenders could finally bring him down.
3rd and 1, ball lined up on the right hash. General Brown offense moving right to left. It's Heller, and the handoff is to Raleigh. Raleigh is taken by his jersey, but he fights ahead past the first down marker.
Tackle by Landry LaFleur.
Landry LaFleur got a fistful of Eli Raleigh's jersey there, and he brought him down like that.
General Brown.
Landry LaFleur getting involved in those last 2 plays, but still not enough. They keep getting the first downs, and they keep the offense going.
Heller, handoff up the middle. Dominic Lutz lowers the shoulder across the 45 and gets to about the 47.
Lutz brought down
Lutz has been possibly one of the biggest, most valuable players of this game so far for General Brown, maybe next to Jake Heller. He's done a lot. He had that big punt return touchdown in the 3rd quarter, and he's getting a lot done on the ground for this team.
Out of all the running backs, Lutz leads the team in touchdowns. Handoff is to Coney. He's got some space up the middle, right through the seam across the 20. Now the 10, the 5, touchdown.
It's Corey Smith
Corey
on that one,
Smith.
the big boy, getting a big touchdown there.
General Brown touchdown.
Well, when Smith gets a full head of steam, look out. And he went 30-plus yards there to give General Brown a 50-13 lead.
How about that? A 43-yard rushing touchdown for the big boy. 250 pounds right up the middle. No one can bring him down. He just gets that good blocking, gets right through the secondary, and nobody touches him.
So Heller will attempt the 2-point conversion out of the wishbone back to pass, but nearly sacked. He gets away. Rolling to his right now, tucking the ball, trying to get an edge. Dives for the pylon, but doesn't get it. Good stop by Carson Pickerel. Excuse me, that was Tyler Fietta.
Big time hit, got him right in the shoulder pads, drove him out of bounds, but still, it's a 50-13 ball game. It's already getting well out of hand. They might hit the 60 mark again at this rate.
In all 3 of their previous games, General Brown has hit that 60 rate mark. They're averaging 66 points per game, Brendan.
Wow, that's incredible. That's just truly incredible. But also for the Jordan-Elbridge team, you really have to be proud of them because right now they're 3 points from matching the total of points allowed by this Lions defense on the entire season so far.
They are putting up a good fight. They are fighting hard. On General Brown's side, we talked about the culture early in the game. These guys have a strict 10 p.m. curfew before the games, Brennan. They cannot go out. They have to be in bed by 10 p.m. No smack talk on social media, and on the field comes second. Head coach Doug Black likes to really drive that home.
I mean, the curfew isn't unusual. That's typical for most programs. Have them in by 10. Some coaches, my coach had us in by 9 p.m. But a lot of teams, they don't really control players' social media. That's unique, that they really try to avoid the snack talk. A very classy organization over there at General Brown.
8:26 to go in the game. Bryce Johnson will kick off for General Brown. Trots towards the ball, puts his foot into it, and Melfi's back to return for J.E. Takes it at the 20, reverses it to Sparks. Sparks makes a man miss, cuts up the middle, and tackled at the 30.
That pitch play on the kick return has happened a couple times so far. First one, a bit more success than that one, but that one, still a good pickup starting from their 30-yard line. Certainly not a bad position if you're the Eagles.
You know, Sparks is clearly the best player on this squad, but I don't know, if you're Nate Melfi, I mean, you're a really good player yourself. We've seen Melfi break a bunch of tackles, so it's kind of interesting that he looks to pitch it to Sparks there.
It's very interesting. I feel like they got more players involved, they're starting to get more players involved, and I think that's why they're doing so well in this second half.
Sparks in the empty set, 5 receivers set out wide. Sparks drops back, looks left, throws up the middle, pass is deflected, and it's on the ground.
Pass incomplete.
Carson Pickerel got his hand on it. He was looking for Dakota Holbrook.
And Pickerel going up there with a big swat. Jumped pretty high to go swat that one down. It was up in the air. He had a chance if he turned around quick enough to maybe snatch it out, but he couldn't quite get it done. But great defense there from the Lions.
Same formation for Jeremiah Sparks, working from the right half. Sparks rolls out to his right, now throws it and has his man. It's Lipa at the 45. Good throw and catch.
Talk about a good quarterback connection there. It felt like Lipa knew exactly where that ball was going to be. Turned a little bit upfield, didn't get much after the catch, but still a good 15, 16-yard pickup and a first down.
And Sparks rolling to his unnatural side. He's the lefty. He rolled out to his right. He had to flip his hips to make that pass. Good footwork by Sparks.
Absolutely. From being a big athlete that he is, that's something that comes helpful to him when he's in the pocket trying to roll out.
It's a trip set. 3 receivers set on the near side. Sparks takes the snap and looks that direction. Now he steps up in the pocket, throws it up the middle, and it's incomplete. No receivers in the area.
That one looked like it might have been intended for a Holbrook. He was about 5 yards back. He may have been trying to just avoid an interception there, throw it in the area. That was at the feet of Dominic Lutz, the defender, and I think he was just trying to avoid a turnover on that play.
2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line.
Eagles with 10 yards to go.
We are not seeing any Jeff Lipa. It's all Jeremiah Sparks now, and it's all empty sets. Once again, a 5-receiver formation. Sparks takes the snap. This time he runs it himself. Going on the left side, makes a man miss, and he's got running room across the 40. The 30 down the far sideline. He's dragged out of bounds by Jake Heller. But a huge gain by Sparks.
Talk about a run like that, moving up to the General Brown 13-yard line. Big time run there, and it moves Jordan-Elbridge in a chance to get another touchdown. Obviously, this game a bit out of reach in terms of getting a W, but hey, keeping the offense moving and figuring out what works, that is huge for a team like the Eagles.
14.
Sparks takes the snap, working from his own 20. He's going to run again, this time up the middle, but he's dragged down. Tyler Scordo took Sparks by the legs there.
And again, finding any way you can. Even if you're a big guy, sometimes going low is a good way to bring someone down. I can speak from experience. I wasn't the biggest guy on the football field. I had to bring some guys 40, 50 pounds heavier than me. But, hey, sometimes just takes a drag to get the job done.
Motion at the line of scrimmage. The receivers reverse, so it'll be Lipa on the near side, Vincent Griffin, along with 2 other wide receivers on the far side. Here's Sparks. 2-step drop, looking for the end zone, the corner, and he overleads Melfi, who is open.
Just too much on that pass. If he was a little softer had a little more touch, that would have been an easy touchdown and given another 6 points to Jordan-Elbridge. Instead, just out of the reach of Melfi, there was really no way he was going to get to that one.
That's going to set up a 3rd and 10 6:52 remaining in the game. General Brown, a comfortable lead. Brendan, what are you seeing from Jeremiah Sparks when he tries to pass the football?
I'm seeing a little bit more poise now. He really knows what he's doing. Earlier in this ball game, he ran one out of bounds instead of just throwing it away, and that proved very costly to the Eagles. But he's really finding a rhythm.
Let's see what he can do on this 3rd and 10. Takes the snap, runs it himself, goes to the left side, but pulled down. What a play by Carson Pickerel. Looked like Sparks might have had some space on the outside edge, but Pickerel grabbed him and took him down easily.
I mean, Pickerel just came in from deep and swallowed up that hole. He saw that Sparks had an opening. He closed it right up. You can imagine they're probably going for it here on 4th and 9 from the opposing 13.
Sparks looks to the sideline for the play. He gets it from Coach Joe Fiocchi. Here's Sparks, takes the snap, knee height. He's got some pressure. He runs left, and he's got a hole across the first down marker. Dives for the pylon. Touchdown, Jeremiah Sparks. And it's 19-50, General Brown.
And again, big moral victories here. People like to say that moral victories aren't important. They don't want to talk about moral victories. But here, you put up more points in this one game against General Brown than General Brown has allowed through their entire season through these first 3 games. That's a win. You're figuring out what's working. It seems like Jeremiah Sparks at quarterback is really working for this team, especially when they have a lot of receiving options.
Tyler Fietta nailed his last extra point. He'll try again here. Snap, hold by Jeff Lippa. The kick by Fietta is good.
Nice job there by Jeff Lippa to receive a high snap and put it down for Fietta, who put it through the uprights and got that extra point.
So the Eagles hit that 20 mark. If you're General Brown, how do you not relax here? How do you stay focused, or do you?
I mean, it really just depends on what Coach Dub Black's mentality is. Some coaches at this point, 6 minutes left to go, they're up by 30. Some coaches at this point, they put in the backups. They like to just get the young guys experience. Other coaches, they're more of just making sure they can last a full 4 quarters, get them some burn. And I know you have full opinions about keeping guys in 4 quarters, making sure they can play a complete game. That's a big thing that Coach Black might be going for here.
Yeah, well, General Brown did graduate 11 players last year. Coach Brown said before the season that they were lacking leadership. They graduated starting quarterback Thomas Dupree. 3 All-State players graduated for General Brown. And so this, some people were expecting a down year, and it's been anything but that.
I mean, they've been doing well. They've been doing very well. And against a tough team like Jordan-Elbridge, they're excelling.
They'll try to get back to the Class C championship game where they were last year. Sparks will try an onside kick on the left side. This time, it looks to be handled by General Brown. It was into the chest of Carson Pickerel, and he fell on it.
Hey, good job there on the onside kick reception. Just make sure it already didn't work for General Brown trying to take that last one. Last time, J.E. was actually able to recover. This time, they just swallowed it up and keep possession.
Well, at least good thinking, and if you're Coach Fiocchi, you're showing your players that you're not giving up yet. Jake Heller's General Brown offense has been unstoppable. Corey Smith in the backfield. He gets the handoff, runs on the right side, has room, trying to get to the 40. He does cross the 40. Now to the 35. He's still on his feet, and he works his way to the 30.
Flag down back at the 35. Looks like this is probably going to be on General Brown.
I don't care. It was an impressive run. He dragged 3 defenders 10 yards forward.
You got to love the BMRs, big man runs.
It is holding on the offense. So General Brown will backpedal here.
We've already got the BMT, the big man touchdown earlier in this ballgame from Corey Smith. He's continuing to show that in the backfield for a big guy, he could still get the job done, running over everybody and getting big yardage.
I have a hunch that we're going to be seeing more BMTs throughout the season for General Brown by this guy.
Amen on that one.
1st and 5.
Not sure what the call is here, but it's a 1st and 5. Ball on the 46. Heller from the wishbone. The handoff is to Smith again, runs on the right, has a first down, runs through a few defenders, and he's down at the 34.
And again, another gain of about 15 yards. Corey Smith, absolutely unstoppable. And he's not someone we had checked down as a big contributor heading into this ball game, and now we are well aware of his presence on this field.
They're going back to him over and over again, and he's in the backfield again, this time with Eli Raleigh. He gets the handoff again. Smith cuts up the middle, runs over a defender. He spins away across the 35, 25.
Another pickup, almost 10 yards there for Smith. Really unstoppable. He showed a little bit of shiftiness there on that play, breaking a tackle by a linebacker. He got pretty close to the secondary before getting brought down.
And you see guys just diving at his ankles because that's all they can do. 20 seconds on the play clock, 44:50 left on the game clock. It's Heller out of the wishbone, working from his own 25. This time the handoff to Raleigh. He's swallowed up in the backfield. Steve Tripp, the 5'8", 156-pound junior, was there to make the play.
Had some help there on that tackle, but again, nice job there by the defense getting that one for the loss.
So that'll set up a 3rd and 3. Carson Pickerel now in at quarterback for General Brown, and Pickerel will hand off. He keeps it himself, and he's got space on the right side. Touchdown! Flag is on the field. Pickerel faked the handoff to Smith, and he kept it himself, fooled everyone on the field, and had tons of space on the far side. He walked in, but once again, a flag is on the field. The referee's convening.
And General Brown pretty much knows what's happening. That ball is going to come back. Looks like it's probably going to be a holding penalty. But, I mean, or either a procedural infraction perhaps, but still, great job on that play. Carson Pickerel, a solid fake there, and Corey Smith was with him the entire way, blocking for him down the sideline.
Procedure penalty on General Brown.
It is a procedural penalty, so that'll back him up 5 yards and set up a 3rd and 8. It looks like they are going with Pickerel as the quarterback now, so they're going to get him some reps. Wishbone formation. Raleigh and Smith in the backfield. Handoff is, it's a keeper for Pickerel, and he's another flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
That one coming on the end of the play, and I don't know what this one could be. It's definitely not going to be a holding or anything, but we'll see what comes up out of this play.
Personal foul on General Brown. So 2 straight plays now. That one was on Corey Smith, so 2 straight flags by General Brown.
Penalties really starting to hit them when it's really too late to make too big of an impact. They had a couple of bad penalties earlier in this ball game, but now at this point it doesn't really do much. If you already have a 30-point lead, less than 4 minutes to go in the ball game, and it's almost over. So not really too much harm done.
Yeah, I have a feeling Doug Black, despite being up big, is not going to be in the best mood after this drive. The father of 4 doesn't love his penalties.
No coach loves penalties. Every coach wants to avoid them at all costs. Even at a time like this, when it doesn't even make a difference, you want to instill the right way of playing amongst your players.
So they're going to run it back, another 3rd and 8 play. Pickerel, this time hands off to Coney, who gets through a hole on the right side where he's stymied at the 37.
By a flock of eagles.
Keith Titus was there. So the scoreboard reads 3rd down, but it is indeed 4th down.
4th and 5 for General Brown.
Handoff, nothing doing there for Raleigh. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
there seems to be a lot of confusion here. The refs are saying third down when everyone else thought that was just fourth down. Seems like after the penalty, the downs may have reset.
That is what seemed to happen there. A lot of penalties on this drive, but ultimately 3rd and 7. 3 minutes to go in the game. Pickerel takes the snap. And the ball is out. Fumble picked up by
Fietta. Looks like he picked it
Fietta.
up, but it might have been. Nope, he got it.
So the ball came out there immediately in a swarm of players at the line of scrimmage.
Credit to Tyler Fietta for knocking that one out of the hands. And a good job by the JE defense. Less than 3 minutes to go in this ball game, but picking up some solid wins here near the end.
So JE gets to work on their offense here. Down 33 minutes to go. This drive starts on their own 39-yard line. Jeremiah Sparks, empty set, 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Sparks takes the snap on the left hash. Fires deep now, tossed to the left side, and it's just past the hands of Nate Melfi.
Good throw there by Sparks. Just a little bit too much for Melfi to be able to catch up to, and he had him wide open down the sideline. You had Heller back there, but he wasn't in enough room to interfere with the catch, and he came in late. He might have been able to jar the ball loose, but no way he was going to get in between Melfi and the ball if that was on target.
Sparks takes it again. 3-step drop. Toss over up the middle where it's dropped by Dakota Holbrook. And Sparks was hit hard after the play. There's a flag, and Sparks is slow to get up. You got to expect a roughing the passer call on that.
Yeah, he is really banged up. He got brought down weirdly on that shoulder earlier, and he looks fine right now, but he's been really banged up today throughout the course of this ball game.
You got to think with all the carries he gets that Sparks is almost used to it. But certainly General Brown, a different animal, and that roughing the passer call, that's a 15-yard penalty that will bring JE across the 50-yard line and into General Brown territory.
And if you're Jordan-Elbridge here, you just want to keep the ball moving. You got 2 minutes, 49 seconds left in this ball game. You're down 30, but just show what the offense can do. See if this is really the set you want to work with, because this 5-receiver set with Sparks empty in the backfield has been working.
Sparks takes the snap and steps up in the pocket where he meets some traffic, and he's dragged down by Damian Zawatsky. That time, Sparks was crowded, had nowhere to go, but down.
And this is the story of the ball game. Defensive line overpowering offensive line. The Eagles' O-line just hasn't gotten it done today.
That sets up a 2nd and 12. 5 receiver set once again. Sparks alone in the backfield. Takes the snap, working from his own 50, looks left, screens pass to the left to Melfi. Melfi, a one-on-one, now is joined by some other General Brown defenders who will team up to make the tackle. About a loss of, or maybe got back to scrimmage.
3rd and 12 for the Eagles.
He did get back to the line of scrimmage, so another 3rd and 12 situation.
Eagles set up at the 46.
Here's Sparks. Takes the snap, waist high, now rolls to his unnatural right, flips his hips and fires up the middle, incomplete, where it was too far for Jeff Lippa.
Very interesting decision to shoot over the middle there for Jeremiah Sparks. You had a dump-off option in Nate Pinkney right off there to the sideline. He didn't have a lot of defenders in his way. It probably wouldn't have been a first down, but he still could have had a decent pickup. Instead, it's going to be a 4th and long again.
4th and long with 1:23 left. Melfi is on the field. We'll see if he punts here. It does sort of look like a punt formation, but on the other hand, General Brown has no returner, and the referee throws a flag. Is that an illegal formation, Brendan?
Looks like he called unsportsmanlike conduct on behalf of Jordan-Elbridge. Don't know where that came from, but either way, the ball's moving back even further.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Eagles.
Well, Coach Joe Fiacchi is hot. Did JE player try to call timeout and there were no timeouts? That could have been it, no?
Not really sure. Fiacchi's on the field right now. He is not happy.
Well, 50-20 will do that to a head coach. Although there are reasons to be proud of his Eagles squad. At the end of the day, in the words of the great Herm Edwards, you play to win the game.
You got to play to win the game. He's at Arizona State right now. They got some action going on. But, you know, Jordan-Elbridge, they're down 30 in the end of this ball game. But the fact that they were able to put up 20 against a team like General Brown, that in and of itself is impressive. And while these Eagles players might go home dejected, they have to know that they played a great ball game today against a very tough opponent.
They did play General Brown closer than any team has so far. This is a team that has been dominant in the last decade, has really been dominant for as long as the program has existed. It goes way back as far as legendary head coach Steve Fisher.
Eagles set up on the 39.
They're ranked number 5 among Class C schools by New York State. So now it's Jeff Lippa. Jeremiah Sparks lined up as a receiver on the far side. It's 4th and 27. Man in motion is Melfi. He'll take the pass on the right side, evade a few tacklers, but ultimately brought down at the 45. So a turnover on downs for JE.
And this game getting close to wrapping up here. It's been a good one for General Brown, obviously holding a pretty good lead, getting a lot of offense going, particularly in the second half. Got options beyond Jake Keller involved. Dominic Lutz took the game into his hand. Corey Smith, what a game for the big man. He did a great job today as well.
On the 44.
2 rushing touchdowns for the 250-pounder.
Yeah, that was a big breakout star for General Brown. Matt McManaman also got in the action, and now we see General Brown in victory formation. They are going to take a knee here. It might take 3 knees to get that clock down to double zeros, but good sportsmanship here.
Absolutely. You don't want to run up the score this late, less than 69 seconds left to go in this ball game. You're very proud of a General Brown team for being able to get this much going in this ball game. They really took fire in the second half. Jake Heller used other options. Corey Smith, 2 rushing touchdowns. Dominic Lutz, again, that big punt return from inside their own 20. Big job for the Lions offense. And then Jordan-Elbridge, you have a lot you can take out of this ball game too. You found something that worked. Jeremiah Sparks, nobody in the backfield, 5 receiver set. That worked in the fourth quarter. That did a lot of offensive good for this Eagles team. And going forward, you might see them use a little bit more of that against opponents that may be more at their level and maybe mix things up because you know you have Nate Melfi as an option, you have Pinckney, and you have other people you can go to as well.
I agree, Brendan. I mean, he showed a little bit of greenness on the passing side, but it opened up runs for him as the clock strikes 10 seconds on this chilly day in Jordan, New York. There's certainly things that both teams can take out of this game. And right now, it is just formality. The both teams wait in the middle of the field. We're going to see handshakes. 50-20, your final. General Brown beats Jordan-Elbridge here in Jordan, New York. This has been a presentation of Class C or Section 3 football on CNY Streams. I'm Gill Gross, along with my broadcast partner, Brendan Ross. See you next time.